Welcome to American Falls. And I personally think this is up there with some of the finest examples of just stunning, immersive, beautiful maps in Farming Simulator 22. And I have never been so excited for an update as I have on this map. And the reason why is because, unfortunately, there were a couple of issues with this map that meant for me personally, I had to wait for an update. And I was kind of gutted because I remember when I first found this map, I just wanted to play it. I mean, just look even just around here at all these extras that's been put in by the map maker. All this extra detail. Even the forest floor with bits of wood everywhere. It's just, I think it's one of the most immersive maps that exists in this game. And this map comes with a fantastic backstory, which again adds to that level of immersion. And the backstory is that you've come in as a farmer to get American Falls back up on its feet. Because the farmer that was here before you that did a great job and worked well with all the people here in American Falls, for an unknown reason, just upped and left. He sold off all of his farmland, took all of his equipment, took all the money, gone. So when you come in, there's no farmland, there is no money in the pot, and there's no equipment. There is literally you, a car, and a trailer. And that is it. Look at the colour of that water. I love that. There is quite literally nothing here, and you have to start with nothing, and you're going to have to regain the trust of the good people that live here in American Falls, and eventually earn enough money to buy your farm. And there are some lovely farms on this map. However, you're going to have to work hard to get enough money to get one of those farms. To do that, you're going to have to do contract work. And unfortunately, therein lies one of the issues with this map previously, which was contracts wasn't working. And I know for me, I attempted this map and it wasn't. So the issues was that the contracts were not tracking correctly. You'd be in the middle of a contract and near the end of, say, harvesting a field, and it just was still stuck at 0%, so you couldn't complete. And one of the other issues was you couldn't load the equipment correctly that you would need to borrow, because remember, you're starting with nothing. Not all equipment would show up at the shop, so it required an update. The other issue was that premium expansion wasn't working due to the amount of extra crops on this map. So if you had that on, I think red beets would show up, but the others wouldn't, and it would also break the map, and most fields had nothing on them. However, it would appear that this has all been addressed, and that is why we're here now for this video. We're going to take a look at the update, we're going to check out a few things, and then we're going to confirm that we can get started. So I'm really excited. So let's go and check the update first and have a look what has actually been changed, and then we'll hop back in and check that out. Okay, so as we can see, the map maker is Lancyboi, who's the same map maker who does Stone Valley. And funnily enough, this here is the description for the backstory, which you have to read if you get a chance to. I think it's one of the things that makes this map really, really good. But we can see we are now on version 1.2.0.0, and the size is 555.40 megabytes to download. Now, if we scroll down, you'll see all the details of the map in its original state. Then we'll see the first update that it had, but what we're interested in is this update here, which just came out. So it states here that premium expansion DLC crops now works. That includes your carrots, your parsnips, and your red beets, and this is cross-platform. We can see the mud mod added, that's PC only. We can also see that there's better weeds by JMZ, grazing added for PC only. Cow capacity in the farms has been upped to 400, so we check that out. The Gale DLC pack has been updated cross-platform. Extra animals added, so that means you've got the baby animals. You've also got goat's milk cross-platform. Farmlands have been updated, so he's tweaked some things. He's removed clover. If we go up to the original list, somewhere here, it does state that there's extra, there we go, alfalfa, rye, flax, and clover. To make premium expansion work, he's had to remove the clover. So clover removed to make room for the new DLC crops. Oxygen David's rye has been added, so it would have mentioned that up there. And I've noticed a couple of things from the original description I've kind of repeated down here, so they're not new. Flax added, so again, that's already there anyway. New animals added, which is just mentioned, and he's got permissions, but this is important. Only mod hub animal placeables work, not base game. I'm going to explain that. What that means is if you put down an animal placeable that's in game, so one of the base game ones, it will show on the menu all the different sort of cows and baby cows or baby sheeps or goats, but once you place it, they will be invisible. You will not be able to see them. They will still produce manure and whatever it is they're producing, milk, but you can't see the actual animals. You have to use one from the mod hub, one you have to download and then put that in, and that will work. So I hope that makes sense. We've got alfalfa and custom tillage textures added, manure heap added to cows. So that was something that's been added in that wasn't there before. We've got the custom slurry textures, the custom crop texture, which I think was there, the wheat, canola, barley and oats. Soybeans and rows, that was there already. Alfalfa silage clumps been added, so that's been added in, cross-platform. We'll go and have a look at that. Custom animal husbandry's work mod hub, which has just been stated. He's removed some wire fencing, so he's made some improvements to the map. There's a collectible that wasn't working because it was under the map, it's been repositioned, but this bit here, contracts fixed. So the two big takes for me is contracts are fixed and DLC crops are now working, and there's some improvements to the overall feel and the way the map works. So let's hop back in and you go and check that out. Okay, so back in the map, and the only change that I've done so far is I have added in some money just so we're going to buy up some of the farmlands and some of the farms so I can show you what's been changed. This is the starting point for the map, and as you can see, you literally start with the trailer, this is where you're going to be living, and your car, and that is it. That's what you start with. In fact, if we go here, there you go, that's literally it. You have the car, and if we now look at the map, as you can see, if I click here, we don't own any land. All these blue sections, these are places where there's all the stores and sell points and stuff. So that's been done. So if you want to put your own sell points in the future, you can do that. But you don't own any farmland. So if we go for here, you can see feed calculator for buy. Everything is for buy. So we own nothing. And that's kind of the premise of this. It is a proper map built for start from scratch, which I absolutely love. Now, most importantly, crops. If we come over here, we can see we've got flax, rye, alfalfa, red beets, carrots, parsnips, and clover removed. Previously, it was flax, rye, clover, alfalfa, and red beets showed up, carrots and parsnips didn't. And when you had the premium expansion on, most of these fields looked like this. They were just blank. There was nothing growing in any fields. It was breaking the map. That is now completely fixed. We can also see there's carrots growing in field 41. We can also see there's red beets growing in field 21 and 13. Now, contracts. If we come down here, we can see we've got loads of contracts. Loads and loads of contracts. So we've got loads of fertilizing contracts, harvesting contracts. What I'm going to do for a second is I'm going to borrow some equipment on 3 of these contracts, because before there was an issue with some equipment just wouldn't load up, and if there was too much equipment, there was also not enough room. So we're going to test that now. So there's 4 bits of equipment for that contract. So I'm going to borrow to do that one. And I'm also going to borrow to do that one, and really just to push it, I'm going to borrow that one as well. So I've now got 3 active contracts, and I've borrowed a lot of equipment. So let's go to the main shop where we should see loads of equipment waiting for us. And there we are. As you can see, that's 3. That is 3 lots of contracts worth of equipment I've borrowed. So that is a lot of stuff, and everything has appeared. No problem whatsoever with loading in equipment. And I don't see anyone needing more space than that for 3 contracts worth of equipment. I mean, we've got we've got 2 tractors there. We've got this harvester here. That is crazy. 2 trailers. this harvester and the harvester header there and trailers, and yeah, there's just so much equipment. Absolutely fine for doing your contracts. With regards to contracts tracking, I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will report back and let you know if contracts are indeed tracking on this map. That's not something I can test now, sort of work around, but I can confirm the contracts are here and everything you need to be able to do contracts now perfectly loads up in this space, which looks like it has been extended a little bit. Right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to buy the farm, which I think is this one here. There we are. And here are the cows. So first thing is we want to add the cows in, and it should have been upped to 400, which it has. And we also can confirm we've got all the newer cows in. Now, I am on PC and I can confirm I have not got the extended animals mod on. This is built in to the map. So we can put in a bull, for example. So let's add some bulls. And then let's add some calves. There we go. And then let's add some of those bulls in as well. Why not? There we go. So they should be around. There you go. There's the baby there. Amazing. Now we also should be able to see custom slurry textures. That was everything. I'm trying to remember the updates. It is pretty cool when you see a big bull next to a calf like that. So let's go and find. I'm trying to remember where the slurry pit is. There it is, right in front of me. So we should have custom textures for that. Well, we haven't got, unfortunately. Yeah, I'd have to fast forward time. What I might do, I'll fast forward time in a minute, and then we'll check out the custom slurry texture there. Okay, so I have moved forward in time by quite a bit. You can see we're in March year 2 now. The slurry pit is full, so you can now see that custom texture. Oh, I just totally fell into that. The custom slurry texture. There you go. And that's really full. It holds 100,000 litres of slurry. Now, I also took the liberty of filling up with, well, not filling up, but you can see there's tractors over there. I put TMR in, and I also put straw down. So if we look here, the straw has now been completely used up. I didn't manage to get any manure, so I'm going to put a bit more straw in, because what I've done just now, I've added even the sort of the normal aged cows in, because before we just had a baby and a bull, and I wondered if that was the issue. So I'm going to put more straw in, and then I'm going to fast forward time a little bit more and just double check that we are actually going to be producing manure. So bear with me, I'll do that now. So it would appear, for whatever reason, this manure heap, I can't get it to work. You can see it is still on 0 litres, and I completely filled up to the top max level of straw. I also put in the top max level of TMR. Fast forwarded time quite a bit again, so we've burnt through a lot of the straw, a lot of the food, and no manure is spawning at this point. So there is a tiny little fault here with that manure point isn't working correctly. You may be able to put your own manure point down. That is a temporary fix, and don't forget you can also put your own animal pens down as well that have manure points. So there are some workarounds. This is absolutely not a map breaking issue that I've found here. I just want to test if you can, because I think I remember reading in the description that you can remove this. So if you want to remove this, you absolutely can. I've just noticed the slurry lights up as well, as does this here. So this all gets removed if you want to do that, and then you can put your own stuff in there. As a quick test, I put my own manure extension. I've literally put it just behind the cow shed, just next to this garage here, and it worked perfectly fine and instantly started filling up with manure. So as a temporary measure, you can just put down your own, and there you are. You've already got very quickly 42,000 litres of manure piling up behind the cow shed there. And actually, it's kind of a nice place. It's not in the way of anything there. And while we're here, this was also in the description. So this is your normal grass to silage, or your chaff goes in here. And then, as promised in the description, he's added the alfalfa one here, so you can also turn your alfalfa into silage next to it. So that's also a lovely new addition. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to do a couple of contracts just to see if those contracts are tracking correctly, and then I'm going to come back and update you on my findings. Okay, so we're on to the next day, so we're now into June, and I have completed those 3 contracts that we put in there, and all 3 of them tracked absolutely perfectly fine. We got paid at the end, and they also tracked while I was doing the contracts as well. So I can confirm contracts are officially fixed on American Falls. So other than that tiny issue with that manure heap not filling up, and knowing that you can just put down your own one anyway, and of course you can use your own animal husbandries, and by that I will just explain to you what they mean by that. Is if you were to put down one of the base game ones, say for example this one, the animals wouldn't work, they'd be invisible, but they would track. Whereas if you put a modded one, say for example this one, which is one made by Lancyboi, you could put this one in and that would work with the extended animals. So that's what that means. But yep, as far as I'm concerned, this is an absolute fix. This map is fully working. You've got the extra premium crops on here now, contracts are working, and there is nothing stopping you coming on here and enjoying what I think is one of the best maps in Farm Sim 22. So I hope you enjoyed that little quick update from me. I think Lancyboi has done an absolutely fantastic job with this map, and I for one now cannot wait to get started and doing some contracts and playing through the story of this amazing map. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.